Once again, there's chaos on Capitol Hill as it appears that Steve Scalise does not have the votes needed to become Speaker of the House. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and today it is time that we talk about the chaos that continues to unfold on Capitol Hill. Because everyone, once again, it appears that we are heading for a very ugly speakership fight, as House Majority Leader Steve Scalise appears not to have the votes needed to become the next Speaker of the House, as it seems like many Republicans are not happy with Steve Scalise at all. So yeah, it's going to be one of those weeks, I think, if not month. This is going to get very ugly and very interesting fast. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you could join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody, and again, this is a very early developing story that we don't know how this is going to go. Because, well, this just happened yesterday, and, well, there's no confirmation on what's going to happen because, quite frankly, this is unprecedented. But there's one thing we do know. As of now, it appears Steve Scalise does not have the support needed to become the Speaker of the House. And there's a lot of reports saying that this could get very interesting. But first, let's get into the article. After Steve Scalise clinched the House Republicans' nod for Speaker on Wednesday, he did not deliver a victory speech. He didn't hold a news conference for cable TV, and champagne was not delivered to his leadership suite. So I think a lot of people understood that what happened yesterday, it's not good. For those that don't know, Steve Scalise did get a majority, well, asterisk, a majority in the GOP conference. We'll get to that in a second, but it was such a small majority. It was like 108 to like 99. It was incredibly small for a majority. But there's some reports coming out that, wait a minute, this, I shouldn't spoil it, but we'll get to in a second. So I think even yesterday, many people thought that, hey, this isn't a good sign for Scalise. Instead, within hours, some House Republicans openly doubted that Scalise could ever get elected on the floor. At least a dozen Republicans have publicly lined up against Scalise, who can only afford to lose 4 of them, meaning that he is all but certain to lose on a first ballot. And here's the problem for Scalise. It sounds like a lot of people, they're going to support Scalise the first ballot. After that, adios. Sorry, we like you, but you clearly do not get the votes, and we're not going to waste 5 years figuring out who the speaker should be. And like the article says, the House GOP's hope for moment of unity never materialized. Scalise just secured 50.7% of the conference's support, an illustration, as if one was ever needed, of how divided House Republicans remain after Kevin McCarthy's ouster last week. And this is the thing that could get a bit awkward. Now, I don't know how 100% this is, alright, but this is a report that's been circulating, and it seems like there's some legitimacy to it, but let's look at it. Please read this carefully. Congressman Chip Roy offered a temporary amendment to the House GOP conference rules. It would have changed the threshold for who they nominate from a simple majority to 217 votes. 217 is what they need on the House floor. And I'm surprised that the Scalise's people, they voted against this. Like, wait a minute. You know you need 217 votes. Why the hell would you just bank on a simple majority? Like, you got such a by barely. It's such a small majority that's like, wait a minute here. Why are you voting against this? You know you have a small House majority. You need every single vote you could possibly get. And hell, just propose an amendment to make it 2/3. But instead, they decided to go against it. And of course, the amendment was tabled, so the House GOP conference did not vote on it. Then they had the speeches for Speaker and a vote. At first glance, Scalise got 113 votes. Not voting for Scalise was 104. 8 of the 104 voted present. 96 voted for someone other than Scalise. So Team Scalise announced he had the majority of the votes. The media reported that there would be a vote on the House floor at 3 p.m. The rumor started to swirl and was confirmed 3 House Republican delegates / resident commissioners voted for Scalise. That means Scalise did not even have a majority of members eligible to vote on the floor. Yep. You heard that right. Scalise didn't even get a majority of his conference, of those that could even vote on the House floor. Now do you see the problem? Beyond that, there were at least 6 who publicly said they will not vote for Scalise. So as those emerged in realization Scalise really did not have the requisite votes, an announcement came out that the House will convene and immediately go into recess. For those reasons, I continue to ask for members of Congress to vote for Jim Jordan, blah, blah, blah. Listen, the fact that this is even happening shows how incompetent the GOP really is. That people are going to say, oh, this is Matt Gaetz' fault. Why the hell is this Gaetz' fault when you could have voted for the 217 threshold? It would have just been a one-off thing that's like, look, we have such a small House majority, we're so divided. Unless we get basically unanimous support for one person, we're never going to get a speaker. So why are you against the rule change? It's like, I think the GOP establishment, whatever, I'm not even attacking Scalise here, but this was incompetent how the GOP establishment held this. I mean, just vote for the rule change. And then you'll eventually get somebody that can get 217. Instead, you vote against it. But that's not all. On top of all of this, it appears Steve Scalise is about to withdraw. Yep. Despite all this crap that happened the past 24 hours, it appears Steve Scalise, no matter what, cannot get the votes needed to become the Speaker of the House and is expected to withdraw from the race. And this is a report from Newsmax, and let's just listen to it. Let's see what it says.
Hi, Ben. John, good morning. And sources are telling Newsmax that Steve Scalise will not be able to garner the 217 votes needed to become Speaker of the House.
So not only did he get a small majority in the House, and with Jim Jordan's endorsement, he is nowhere near 217 votes. And that's just the first ballot. Like I said, it sounds like there are many people that they're not going to vote for Steve Scalise after one ballot. It's not like McCarthy where he kept everybody in line. It appears that McCarthy's people seem like they're actually trying to sabotage Scalise. It's a mess. Can you tell?
And those sources also tell us that Scalise is expected to drop out of the race.
There it is.
As soon as today.
So it sounds like not only does he not have the votes right now, it seems like he doesn't even have a pathway. Again, I don't know how 100% this is, but I've been hearing a lot of people say the same stuff, that Scalise is expected to withdraw from the race.
Now, if that does happen, we're hearing that Jim Jordan could jump back into the race. Remember that he...
So they go on about like who could potentially run and what's possibly going to happen, but this is unprecedented. When was the last time a speakership vote happened in this manner? When? And it sounds like Scalise is not going to be the speaker. So I think it's really going to come down to 3 people for the speakership. Well, there's a 4th one that I kind of memed on Twitter, but that's kind of a last resort, I think. I think right now Jim Jordan may be the favorite. You know, There are a lot of people that voted for Scalise I think would vote for Jim Jordan, but it does depend on who runs. There was a big question mark with Kevin Hern, but it seems like everybody likes Hern. If you don't know, he's a congressman from Oklahoma, great voting record. Everybody seems to like him, but it seems like he never gained any momentum whenever he goes for a vote. I mean, he technically did run for speaker this time around, but that didn't go too well. Of course, you got Tom Emmer, which he may get some of the Scalise people, but you start looking at it. I mean, you got 3 people. I think 2 of them do have a shot. Emmer, not so much. I think there's a possibility it could be Hern, could be Jordan. But it does raise a question about what if we cannot get 217 for a permanent solution? Well, there are a couple options that we could look at. And I kind of memed one on Twitter, which is, of course, Donald Trump, but I don't think that's going to happen. You know, just put Trump in as interim speaker for like 90 days to get past the rest of the year. I think that's what we really need. Some kind of interim speaker. Like, it's probably not going to be Trump, but there are a couple people that I would say, why not? Give them a call. Say, can't believe I'm saying this, Justin Amash. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I do think he would be a decent, nonpartisan speaker. He did serve in Congress for a few years, and before Orange Man showed up, he was actually kind of good. You know, I think there needs to be some kind of, like, former congressman that has good experience, but that doesn't completely suck. Because I don't really think we're going to get anybody a majority. Maybe Jim Jordan, like I said, it's maybe Jordan or Hern, I should say. But the rest, I don't know. People have been saying McHenry from North Carolina. I don't know. It just seems like right now there needs to be some kind of interim speaker. You know, whether it's Trump, Amash, I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of people that you could call to try to be the speaker, even if it's for just 90 days. But again, we just got to see what happens. The fact that this is happening is just, I never even expected it to be this chaotic. I kind of thought that, okay, Scalise is probably going to be the next speaker, but it seems like that's possibly never going to happen. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you do enjoy these type of videos, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.